Badgers. Today we're going to do a canvas haul all about keeping the faith, I guess. These are all going to be different types of canvases, mostly involving crosses, but like faith-based type canvases. I don't like to typically get uber religious with my canvases or my channel necessarily, but I also don't hide it. I'm all for people believing whatever they want to believe, whatever gives them comfort, whether it's whatever religion, if it's Christianity, Catholicism, atheism, agnostic, whatever your jam is. I'm all for you having the right to believe what you want to believe. So that's why I don't really hide it on my channel, but I'm also not about like shoving it down your throat and forcing it and quoting a ton of scriptures nonstop and being like, you need to get your heart right. No, that's up to you. That is your own path. Do what you need to do in the time you need to do it. But all that to say, I got some kind of discouraging news today regarding my immediate future plans, the path I was planning to take. I hit a bit of a roadblock that I wasn't really intending. A little bit of discouraging news that it feels like kind of a big setback. And I hear those things all over online and through people I know where they say, oh, well, it always gets hardest before it gets better, or things fall apart before they get better. And today I'm kind of having one of those moods of like, Lord, I don't know what else you could take away. But I'm also kind of coming back around to there's always an answer. You have these momentary setbacks where you're just, in the humanness of everything, you're kind of like, what the hell, man? But when you calm down, you have these moments next to that where you say, there's always an answer. If you calm yourself down, there is always an answer. So that's where I'm in the process of getting myself back to. So I thought today I would go ahead and film this video and go over these canvases I got recently that have to do with, like I said, faith-based images. Nothing too heavy, I guess, in those scenes. I don't think I have anything really strongly biblical here. Just some nice calming scenes that I thought would be nice to work on and eventually hang somewhere. So I'll start with this one. I believe I got this one from Paint Some Way. I'm not entirely sure as far as remembering that, but I think it came from Paint Some Way. And I've seen it in a couple other places, but the only size I saw it in for the longest time was this 30 by 30 size, which, as you can see, is actually more like a 25 by 25 drill field. I found today, just today, I found a store on AliExpress that offers bigger sizes, finally. So I'm thinking, I really do like this image, so I'm thinking that I may go to that store and see if I can get I think they went up to either a 40 by 40 or a 50 by 50. I can't remember which now, but I may get one of those and see how that turns out. See if I can get a little bit more detail in the background and maybe in the faces, because I'm a little bit concerned the faces here might not come out so great in the 25 by 25 size. But as you can see, it's supposed to be a picture of Jesus and Mary Magdalene sitting by a fireplace, and I think this is like a cabin or something in the background, and then a wooded scene. And yeah, I just like the hominess, kind of down to earth vibes of this. Of obviously it's probably not their traditional landscape, but I kind of liked the idea of their spirits being kind of wherever they want to be, and if they want to hang out by a wooded campfire and have a chat, they can do that. So yeah, I liked the feel of that, but like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about the detail in the face. So yeah, I'm pretty tempted to go to that store I found just today and see if I can get one of the bigger ones and see how it works up. But I'll probably still do this one, I'm thinking, just because it might come out fine. It's kind of hard to tell. The thing I'm a little bit worried about is I don't think Mary's face is gonna, because she's only got that like one little line, and I'm worried like if you put a dot there, it's not gonna look quite right. So yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of on the fence about whether I want to do this one this size one. I don't know, I may still do it, but anyway, this is a 23 color canvas. Your colors here, so there's a fair variation, which you might not expect immediately looking at this. It kind of just looks like blue and gray and a little bit of white and some orange, which, you know, when you look at the drill pack, that is kind of what it looks like. But there's more color variation here than you might expect, and they come pre-bagged, so that's nice. So there's that one, and then this one, I can't entirely remember where I got this one. It was a while back. It may have come from Paint Some Way as well, or it may have come from Temu. I can't entirely remember, but this is just a wintry church scene that I thought was pretty. Basic toolkit. And then again, a lot of blues and grays with a little bit of yellows, it looks like, for the lamp posts going off around the church. But this just reminded me of scenes around here during the holidays. This is what a lot of the, you know, I live in Western North Carolina right now, and I live around a community that has a lot of Southern Baptist churches, and in the wintertime when the snow comes down and you know, Christmas services are going on at different times, this is kind of what the scene looks like. Is like you'll go through these towns and you'll have lampposts that are lit up like this, and they'll just be like the front door, and you'll see like the shadowed steeple and all that. And it's just kind of a nice comforting scene at the holidays. So yeah, that's what drew me to that one. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of blues and grays. Looks like, whoops, hold on. Looks like there's a little bit of greens in there. That might be for the shadowing around the stone steps in here. And then there's some lighter colors in there to make the lights around here, and probably in the moonlight and stuff. So yeah, just thought that was a nice calming scene. And then I think the rest of these came from Temu, and I thought I would throw this little one in. This isn't any sort of diamond painting anything, but it is that theme based vibe, I guess. Just trying to think of the word. I got one of these the mice at the church Podium. I thought he was really cute. On the website, they made it look much more like it was going to be a dark carved wood. So if you get one of these, it's not dark carved wood. But what I'm thinking I might do with this is, I still think he's really cute. So what I might do, because you can see like it's kind of plasticky looking on the side. I think it is actually some sort of wood or ceramic or something, because it does have some weight to it. And it's rough on the bottom. It's just whatever paint they put on this over the top of that is really shiny. It kind of gives it that plasticky look. So what I'm thinking I might do is take some sandpaper and rough this up, and maybe go back over this with like some antiqued copper paint or something like that to give it that more distressed, aged look. But yeah, I thought he was really cute. And I thought, you know, it's kind of a nice little nod to you know, my ancestors on my mom's side of the family have a long heritage of missionary work, and like I think I've told the story with my grandpa being his thwarted, well, not really thwarted, but I guess his attempt to go into seminary school and then deciding that probably wasn't for him. So yeah, my grandpa was an almost priest. But yeah, before him, long line of missionaries and stuff. So yeah, I thought that'd be cool to have on the shelf. So I got that. And then I have a few other ones from Temu, but before that, I thought I would do this one real quick. This is an Amazon find, I believe, from a little while ago. Just a simple purple and gray cross canvas. I think I originally got this one for Easter this year, but it came in a little late, so I ended up not doing it for Easter or at all, apparently, as you can see. But I plan to pretty soon. But I liked the color palette, and I liked the rough wood of everything, because that's sort of my thing with I don't know if it's really the way I was raised, but it's sort of like the mentality I have for myself, is that when it comes to churches and stuff, I'm not a big fan of big commercialized churches and mega churches and all of that. I guess when it comes to faith ideas, I'm very kind of more I don't know, traditional, I guess, in that I like more simplistic, more country looking churches, because I guess I just feel like in my mind, if you're putting in the effort to go to church and, you know, have a faith-based life and all that kind of stuff, I feel like if you're going to church, it kind of defeats the point of going into the building. If you're going into like a mega church where it's all about you know, lights and making it like a modern concert and things like that. I always felt like churches, the whole point of them was to be a place where you were supposed to humble yourself before a higher power. If you're going to have that idea or that faith in your mind or your heart, I feel like that's the point of the building. And I know that's not how they're traditionally used. I know that there's a lot of money behind a lot of churches out there now, and historically, but I feel like, you know, the way I process the whole point of the building being there, if you go back to, you know, original like these kind of times where, you know, the trickling down followers of Jesus and all that were making their buildings, I think the original buildings were put out there as a place, you know, whether it was an actual building or a shrine or whatever. And not even just in Christianity, I think in most faiths, the point of having a building like that, whether it's, you know, Buddhism or Islam or whatever, is to go into the building and humble yourself before a higher power. it's not to put you on even level with them. That's another point. So I guess for me, I always like images that are a little bit more simple, a little bit more to the roots of the idea, something that makes you feel closer to your maker, but also, you know, like I said, humbling yourself before your higher power, and that whole feeling. I tend to gravitate towards images that inspire that kind of feeling, rather than how nice a suit your pastor has, or, you know, that whole like what is that show, the Mighty Gemstones, like not so much that kind of thing. You know, I don't even pastors building resorts on islands or anything like that. So yeah, that's what drew me to that one. I just like the simplicity of it and the emotion it evokes, and also it's just a really nice palette. It's, you know, some soft purples and grays and browns and some of those muted greens in there. So there's, again, 23 colors in this one, and it's marked as a 35 by 35. Pretty nice drill field overall. There might be a little bit of trickiness up under the cloth there, but probably not too bad. It's probably one of those ones that, like, if you hit a little bit of a rough patch, put it over a light pad and you'll be good. All right, I think the rest of these came from Temu. All right. So this one specifically has a sort of depiction of Jesus in it, but this was another one that I thought was really sweet and sort of reminded me of my childhood. I grew up in a home that had a lot, you know, between my parents, had a lot of violence in it, and when I became a teenager, I actually got a job at a Christian conference center. It was a campground down the road from where I lived, and that ended up being a really cool respite place for me to get away from my parents basically acting like they wanted to kill each other all the time. And when I was younger, before that job happened, I would see images kind of similar to this in different churches I grew up around, or my mom had different, because my mom was very church oriented. And she had a bunch of different books that had images that were kind of like this in it. So these were the type of images that I kind of held on to when I was struggling as a little girl, like this age. As a little girl, I kept picturing, trying to talk to Jesus in my head and saying, like, you're not going to let this pass, right? You're not going to let, thinking about, like, the violence my dad was bringing into my home, because my dad was not a fully horrible person. He had his good side, but he had a lot of demons that he did not properly take care of. And, long story short, his family suffered the consequences of that. Pretty much the whole of my childhood, my dad lived with largely untreated bipolar disorder, among other things, and PTSD from Vietnam and all kinds of stuff. So it was a tense household to grow up in, and it was one of those houses where you learn a person's footsteps to gauge what their temper is going to be, that kind of mood. And so, yeah, I thought about images like this, and that's why I say, when I would think of Jesus and being like, you're not going to let this slide, right? You're going to do something about this, right? I'm just a child and I'm trying to survive this. But yeah, these are the images that even now, as an adult and having largely healed from all that and made peace with it and everything, I still gravitate towards these images because I still remember that little girl that was really struggling to get through all that. So that's what drew me to this one. So there's 21 colors in this one, and it's marked as a 30 by 30. I think the clarity on this one's going to be just fine. I don't imagine there's going to be too much issue with how the face is going to turn out. Maybe some issue on like her nose, I don't know, but overall I think it'll be fine. And the drill field looks really clean, and I think there's going to be a nice kind of breakup between the shadows here and then the mix of colors here, and then I'll probably put at least a few ABs out in the sun in there just to make it more, holy looking. So this is your color palette here. Nice muted colors. Nothing too crazy. I think there's like a little bit of, that soft blue in there. Yeah, that'll be nice. I have a happy one to end on this one. I thought I would throw this one in, even though this is not really, it is biblical, but maybe not in the lighter sense, but it's an image of the devil dogs, Cerberus. But I got this one because I just, I was showing this to a friend earlier, and I was joking about how, let me use the mouse here to hold it down. I was joking with a friend earlier when I was showing them this, and I was saying, I've worked really hard to, do all the right things I could and be a good person and help where I could and all that. So I'm not anticipating going downstairs, but hypothetically, if I were to, I was telling my friend, I could totally see myself being the person that's like, you get to the gates of hell and you see this and you're like, oh my God, can I pet your dog? And seeing the demons really irked at me because I'm over there like, scratching ears and being like, oh, you want a peanut butter treat? And the demons be like, could you not do that? You're supposed to be terrified. What are you doing? I'm like, your dog is so cute. Oh my God. But yeah, it came with a little sticker, which I thought was kind of cool because you don't typically get stickers with these little budget ones, but it came a little bent up, but that's okay. But yeah, that's what the image is supposed to look like. But look at that. Like, does that not look like a dog that you will walk up to? And, like, it doesn't look threatening, like, just because it has 3 heads. It looks like the type of dog that'd be excited to see you and be like, oh my God, let me show you around. Even though it's like hell. I don't know, it cracks me up to think about it. but they just look like super cute. Like you get 3 dogs for one. So yeah, I just thought it was cute. And I have a, somewhere years ago, I bought a painting of, not painting, but, you know, like diamond painting canvas of it's supposed to be the depiction of the 4 horses of the apocalypse. So I thought those 2 next to each other would be kind of fun. But yeah, here's your color palette. Some green. Oh, okay. I guess the mountainside here. So yeah, that's where your green's gonna go. I'm thinking the dogs are just 310. Oh, no, looking at this, there's actually no 310 in this. That's kind of surprising. So what are the dogs gonna be? Huh. Well, there's 823 in here. Oh, okay. 823 and 939. So that's probably your dark blues are gonna be what's the dog. So that's your color palette for that one there. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Can you picture a devil dog? Okay, so then a while back I got this one, and it's funny because there's a few different versions of this going around as far as like the jeweled out crosses. I think I saw one that has like a heart design in it, and then there's one excuse me, and then I think there's one that's got like butterflies or something around it, or oh, there's ones that have different color palettes. There's a few different versions of this you can get. This is the one that appealed to me the most. But I got this one thinking, oh, that would be a fun one to get a bunch of ABs and bling out. And then, not even joking, like probably a week or 2 after I bought this one, I started seeing the special drill AB versions of all these paintings going around. And I was like, well, that would have saved me a lot of time, huh? But when I was thinking about it, when I started looking at the AB versions, I didn't like them quite as much. I feel like I'm going to like this a lot better doing my own ABs rather than the crystals. Because the AB ones I saw, they put like the big crystals here, but sometimes with ABs, that's why I don't get like every crystal kit I see, because sometimes with the ABs, they can look really, really cheap looking. So I'm a little bit particular which crystal kits I do. I try to get ones that still look decent and nice to the eye as crystal kits, and not just, you know, really cheap and low grade. Which, I mean, like, you know, do whatever kits you want to do. I'm just saying for like my personal taste. So yeah, I got this one with the intent to, you know, bling it out and put a bunch of stuff in it. Because when you look at the actual palette is maybe not super exciting. There's a lot of browns and that sort of green, brown, khaki kind of color on that side. There's a few pops of blue, like with the gems and stuff here, and some pinks for those jewels. So there is a little bit of color. But, see, that's, you can see the pink down in there. But for the most part, it's kind of that brown and neutral palette. So that's why I'm thinking I'll probably go in and put some blue ABs in here and some pink ones in here. And I mostly thought I would put some soft pinks and white ABs throughout. Not go crazy with it, because you don't want to like overdo it either, but enough to where it looks very sort of celestial and majestic. So this one is 24 colors, and this is measured as or marked as a 40 by 50. And the one trouble area I can see is, again, that sort of shaded area behind the cross. You might have a little bit of issue back there as far as visibility. You might have some issue in here now that I'm looking at it. The 6 and 7 looks pretty close in color, so there might be a little bit of an issue there. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, down here, the A and the O and the U and the T, all that gradient in the background all kind of looks the same the way it's printed right now. But a lot of times when I get canvases like this that have that issue, that's when I'll just pick one color and knock it all out and break it down that way. Or if you have a bigger canvas, you can also do that. If you're doing the sectioning off, if you tape off an area, just knock out one whole color. If you have one that looks that close to another symbol, just knock it out and eliminate that from your confusion is usually the process I use. All right, last canvas. Gonna end it on a little bit of a light note, jokey note. Not biblical, this one, but it is an angel image, and I thought it would be fun to throw it at the end of this because this just came in, and I don't feature a hello. That came out kind of funny. I don't feature a hell of a lot of Hello Kitty on my channel because it's most Hello Kitty things don't typically appeal to me, but every once in a while I'll see one that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. I think right now in the entirety of all the canvases I own, I think I own maybe, this might be the third Hello Kitty one I've had in like 4, almost 5 years of buying canvases. So yeah, I'm a little particular about the theme, and that it's not overly cutesy. Because, I don't know, sometimes when I see Hello Kitty images, especially the newer ones where it's more closer to like the AI style, the face just looks weird and the whiskers look really long, and sometimes they look like they're taking up too much of the face, and it's just distracting to me. So that's sometimes why I skip over a lot of the Hello Kitty stuff. And also it's overall, it's typically not my thing, but this one I saw and I thought it was really cute, and I'm, naturally drawn to angel images with it. Like I think I mentioned in a video in the past where I said that since I was a kid, I've been gifted a lot of angel gifts because that's literally what my name means, is angel or heavenly messenger. So people have always been gifting me angels and wings and designs like that, and so I'm also drawn to them as diamond art paintings. But like anything, the image has to be right, the face has to look right for me. And I liked the balance of all of this. I liked that there weren't a crazy amount of birds. I liked the softness of the rainbow. I liked that her hair was kind of fun and wavy, and that she was wearing this flowy dress. And yeah, I just liked that there were a few little roses in here, and there's a few like little secret birds that you don't see right away, but they're kind of tucked in the back. I liked that it was balanced. And I don't think this one comes with any ABs, but I have ABs in this sort of soft pink tone, and also I got a lot of white ABs, so I'm pretty sure I'll be throwing that in as well. But yeah, this is the color palette here. So it's mostly soft tones, but you're gonna have a few of the darker pinks for like the shading of her hair and probably up in the bow. So yeah. A lot of white, naturally, since it's a heavenly scene. There's a tiny bit of green just to go around like her belt and the hair up here, and then also a little of the lighter green up in the rainbow there. So yeah, that's what I have for this one. This is my Keeping the Faith haul, I guess we'll call it. So thanks for hanging out with me and keeping me company and hearing me rant through my less than stellar day. But as I said at the beginning of the video, everybody gets these days once in a while, and sometimes you have setbacks and you have a momentary feeling of, where can I take this from here, and how am I gonna bounce back from this? But then I think, if you have something that you were sort of betting on and you get news that it's not going to work out the way you thought it would, I like to tell myself, okay, that it sucks in the moment, but that probably means that there's a reason it didn't work out, that that needed to not work out so that something better can come in. So that's kind of what I'm betting on now and hoping on now, is that something that I thought was gonna set up my future and my what I'm trying to set up as my new independence and all that kind of stuff. The route I had put myself on, it's not gonna go quite as how I thought it was gonna go. At least not without a lot more waiting. In the interest of time crunch, I have to figure out something else, which once I get it figured out down the road, I can be less vague about it. But yeah, I'm trying to figure, I'm in the figuring out process right now. So like a few months from now, when I have it figured out, I guess I can come back to another video and tell y'all specifically what happened once I get my feet secure on new ground and new independence and all that. So yeah, but yeah, all that to say, if you're going through something like that, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. Just calm, deep breaths. Remind yourself that, you know, one door closing, one window closing is another opportunity coming in. You know, the things that are truly meant for you, the better things, they can't come in if you get yourself distracted with something that isn't actually for you but looks good in the moment. So that's what I'm trying to tell myself, is that the path I thought I was going to be on, I hit a roadblock because that isn't actually the path I'm supposed to take. So I have to go back and figure out and pray on what the path is that I'm actually supposed to take, and what cues did I miss, and backtrack and go back to the game tapes or whatever. So yeah, that's what I have for this one, and we will talk soon. Bye guys.